Hi, it's the Tiny One slash Bishie, and let's play some more Final Fantasy XIV with Silent Ghost. If you have not seen Tiny Bishie's playthrough, I'm sick, but I'm still gonna push through. It is the 2023 Low Lays Day event, and I'm excited to play this with y'all. It's a very, very cute event. And I feel like, because it's one of those cool casual events, that we should have a little cute fashion accessory, see if we can interact with people with it. No, it goes away! Inheritance. The Royal Seneschal has a new event in mind to bring smiles to all the princesses in the realm. This quest is available for a limited time only. Ah, greetings, friend. 'Tis good to see you. Very good indeed. As it is just so happens, there is a matter with which I require assistance. As you will be aware, another Low Lays Day is upon us, and we are celebrating all lays as princesses, attending to their every need, not according. For this year's celebration, we are planning to distribute replicas of an antique folding fan to participants. Wishing to learn more about said fan, Miss Aldietha, a scion of House Thorn, has taken it upon herself to investigate its origins. Alas, she has ever had a frail constitution and is feeling unwell. For now she rests at my insistence, but passionate as she is about the celebration, I worry that she won't stay put. Thus would I turn to you for help, in order to take the burden off my lady, who is also a treasured princess this day. Might I prevail upon you to assist with her investigation? I am truly grateful. Now, Miss Aldietha should be resting on a bench in the Gold Court, so pray seek her out there. I leave her in your capable hands. Oh, cool, it comes back. Alright, sweet. I like the low accessories that you can get. I need to get more of them. Alright, so she is going to be at the Gladiators Guild. Well, not at the guild, but that's the closest way to get to her. Oh, my apologies. I didn't notice you there. Pardon me, but I do not believe we met. Is there something you require? So the Royal Seneschal sent you? Well, I would be lying if I said that I didn't need the help. I'm in a worse way than I had realized. I'm supposed to meet with 2 people as part of my investigation, but loath as I am to admit it, I am in no condition to be up and about. As you may already know, I'm investigating the origins of an antique folding fan, the very one beside me, which I found in the Thorn Manor one day. Curious about the design, which is unseen in Olda, I turned to the history books and discovered that it is of a style used in the palace during the Thorn Dynasty. Further research revealed that Princess Edvaya, my ancestor, who gave rise to Little Lady's Day, once used such a fan in a dance she performed at a royal soiree. It was very beautiful by all accounts, and I should have liked to see it. Inspired by this discovery, I consulted the royal seneschal, and it was decided that we would make replicas of the fans as gifts for this year's celebration. However, when we showed the fan to the artisan we hired, he declared that, while undeniably designed in the Thorn style, it was crafted much more recently, no more than a few decades at most. This led me to wonder, who had this fan made, and why? With my mother no longer with us, I went and asked my father, but he claimed to know nothing about it and said no more. Though he married into the family, he is the present head of House Thorn. If even he does not know, then I have to seek answers elsewhere. Additionally, if we learn how the fan was used during Princess Edvaya's time, I thought we could share the knowledge during the celebration. Thus did I arrange to meet with people who are versed in the history of our family. As I am now, however, I can scarcely stand without feeling faint. I'm sorry to impose, but might I trouble you to attend the appointments in my stead? I got this. I'm in your debt. Now, you will want to take the fan with you. Please show it when you meet the individuals in question. One is a reporter from the Mithril Eye, who will be at Erzaneth Ossuary, and the other is a historian who will be at the Quicksand. Alright. Let's go. It took away... Oh, okay. I was about to say it took away my cute little thing. My cute little parasol for being in the cutscene. I'm glad it didn't. I would have been sad. So first we go to the Thaumaturge Guild, because the person we need to talk to is right outside. Where could Al-Diatha be? Can I help you? This fan. Al-Diatha sent you, I take it. Very well then, I'll tell you what I know. When Al-Diatha reached out about an antique fan she found, I was instantly reminded of a similar one I saw long ago. By her description alone, I couldn't be certain, but to see it here and now, there is no doubt in my mind. This fan once belonged to Al-Diatha's mother, Claudia. She was still half a girl at the time, 15 summers old perhaps, when I interviewed her for a Little Lady's Day article. That day, she had this very fan with her. She was out of sorts, though, and begged to sit down and rest. As tired as she looked, I decided to cut the interview short and ended up writing about something else. I must say, I find it a little strange that Al-Diatha should ask me about the fan. It belonged to her mother, after all. Surely she would know about it. Okay, now to go to, talk to the historian. So here. Can I help you with something? I'm actually supposed to meet someone here, but she appears to be late. He's a historian, but he looks like a cowboy. So you come on Miss Aldiatha's behalf. And this is the fan she wished me to inspect? Indeed, it is of a style hailing from the Thorn dynasty. It is said that Princess Edbaya carried such a fan when she attended functions. In those days, it was considered meet for noble women to cover their faces, to which end they carried folding fans on their persons. But as the legend of the lost lady would attest, Princess Edbaya didn't concern herself with social norms, and at a royal soiree, far from using her fan to cover her face, she used it to perform an impromptu dance. The Sultan and his rotuni of seneschals looked on aghast, but the guests were captivated by her performance and erupted into rapturous applause when she finished. That dance became known as the Little Lady's Dance, and it is said to have been passed down through the women of House Thorn. The fan you hold, I expect, was crafted for that very purpose. Curious, though. As a daughter of House Thorn, it seems to me that Miss Aldiatha should be aware of this legacy. In any case, I hope I was able to be of some help to her. Pray pass along my regards. Okay. And back to talk to her. Sorry, I'm feeling very low energy right now, so but I wanted to do this event for y'all to see for Silent Ghost. Ah, you are returned. Thank you for attending the appointments in my stead. So, did you learn aught of interest? What? The fan was my mother's. And it was used to perform the Little Lady's Dance? A dance passed down through the women in our line? Of our line? Forgive me, but I'm not sure what to think. I never knew about any of this. About neither the fan nor the dance. Why didn't my mother share the tradition with me? So both Izuna and tinybishie picked perhaps she was also unaware of it, but I'm going to pick perhaps she didn't have the chance. Yes, I feel this is the only plausible explanation. My mother succumbed to illness when I was little. Even if she wished to pass on the tradition, she never had the chance to do so. Be that as it may, my father must have known something. I know not why he claimed otherwise and feigned ignorance about the fan, nor do I expect that he would willingly talk. Still, I want to know about the dance and about my mother. I'm sorry to impose yet again, adventurer, but won't you help me find the answers? This means a lot to me, thank you. Now then, if my mother appeared at Lady's Day with her fan, it seems likely that she performed the dance there. On that assumption, I propose we look for those who knew my mother around when she was involved in the festival. For this, wealthy middle-aged folk seem a likely place to start. Chances are they at least cross paths with her in social circles. To that end, could you please try approaching affluent-looking individuals at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange and Time Aesthetics. I shall await you here. So I gotta say, that painting up there with the flowers and, you know, the flowers that look like they're on water is very, very pretty. I like that. So go over here. Nope. Nope. You're right in front of her. That's why. What's that? Do I know Claudia Thorne and the dance she used to perform? May I ask who's asking? Goodness me, to think Aldietha had no idea. I was good friends with her mother, I'm proud to say, and would be glad to share what I know. She was quite frail, was Claudia, and constantly took ill. As a result, she seldom attended social functions, and certainly never performed the low lays dance in them. She did, however, show it to me in private, and I consider myself blessed. It was so beautiful, I begged to learn it from her. She kindly taught me, and she would have dearly loved to teach Aldietha too. I'm sure it breaks my heart that she never had the chance. But if Aldietha is keen to learn the dance, nothing would please me more than to teach it, a poor substitute though I am for her mother. She awaits at the Gold Court, yes? I shall go and find her there at once. Okay. Oh. Ooh. She looks very pretty. Alright, Sapphire Avenue. Wait for people to pop up. There we go. A Thorn woman who once danced at the festival? I'm afraid I'm not familiar. Low Lays Day has always been a common folk festival, after all. If anyone were to know, I dare say it would be the head of the Thorn family. 'Tis under the auspices that the celebration took place. Okay. Again, never seen that word before, so sorry if I butchered it. Where in the world did she disappear to? What? Did I ever see the dance performed by Claudia Thorne? As it happened, yes. Yes, I did. It was during a Low Lays Day celebration many years ago. Claudia was participating for the first time, and I had the honor of being her guide. By way of thanks for my company, she showed me the dance. Flourishing her fan, she moved with such majestic grace. I was left utterly transfixed. That person right here is so white that it like I'm trying to read, and all of a sudden it looks like this tall piece of white cotton fluffy whatever it was just got into my view. That's a dance so lovely should be seen by all. Won't you perform it on stage at the festival? I suggested, and to my delight she agreed with a smile. But no sooner did she finish enrapturing the crowds than she retreated out of sight and all but collapsed to the ground. It was then that I learned of her frail constitution. Though I hadn't been aware, I felt no less terrible for making her overexert herself. I apologized profusely, begging her not to push herself ever again. And the sad look on her face when she nodded is something I have not forgotten to this day. But look at me prattle on to a complete stranger. My apologies. Now then, I was in the midst of looking for someone, so I shall excuse myself. Okay. And then we go back to her. So many people right now. Here we go. Oh, there you are. A woman was here just now. She told me she was a friend of my mother's and kindly taught me how to perform the low lays dance. It's as beautiful as I imagined it would be, and I cannot thank you enough for finding this person. Now then, were you able to learn aught from anyone else? So my mother once performed the dance before a crowd, but the exertion was too much for her? From what I have now seen, the movements may indeed be trying for those of poor health. Those such as myself. Thus did my father choose to keep the dance a secret from me, out of concern for my well-being. Or so I speculate at any rate. Lady Aldietha, thank heavens I found you. Rodolphe, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? Begging your pardons, my lady, but you disappeared from the manor without a word. Both your father and I have been worried sick. But all's well that ends well, and I see now that you were in good hands. Thank you, good madam, for looking after the young mistress once more. Now then, my lady, even as we speak, your father searches for you in the city. If evil is strong enough, let us seek him out together. It would set his mind at ease. Yes, of course. Thanks to you, I've discovered things I never know about my family, and I would have you at my side when I meet with my father. Will you come with me? Thank you. Your presence will give me the courage to seek the truth. Master Fortin should be somewhere in the Ruby Road Exchange. Please follow me. Okay. Go back this way. Then we go this way. So many people here. You're the woman from earlier. I should have guessed you were the one who aided my daughter. I'm like, what? I said what I said, not realizing you had come at her behest. Well, what's done is done. Now allow me to properly introduce myself. Fortin Thorn, head of the Thorn family, at your service. Her hands are like all but disappeared when she sets them on her lap. Because the sun is shining just right where it washes it out. No more secrets, Father. Why did you hide the truth from me? So see, her hair is black there because the sun is shining on it. But when I was with Tiny Bishie playing through this section, her hair had streaks of, sections of blue with the dark. It was interesting. I couldn't bring myself to tell you. Even as that fan and the dance hold fond memories of your mother, they are a painful reminder that she is gone. I couldn't bear to lose you as well, so please return the fan and forget about the dance. Father, I understand full well why you feel this way. Were I in your position, I would likely feel the same. But as much as I am touched by your concern, I know about everything now. About Mother, about the fan, and even the dance. Claudia? Lady Aldiatha, that was extraordinary. Where in the world did you learn how to dance so beautifully? An old friend of Mother's taught me. Despite all these years, she still remembered the entire dance, down to smallest flourish. Mother brought you great joy when she danced for you that day. On coming to understand this, I knew that I wanted you to experience that joy again. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. My heater decided to act up. I will not miss that once we move. Aldiatha. Like I once apologized to your mother, I must now apologize to you. It was wrong of me to hide the fan and the dance from you, and I hope you find it in your heart to forgive me. If it is your desire to carry on the tradition, then I will not stand in your way. Thank you, but you know, Father, it is Little Ladies' Day. Rather than an apology, is there not a more appropriate gesture for the occasion? As you say, my princess, as you say. I, Fortin Thorn, head of the Thorn family, do hereby pledge to serve as your royal seneschal. Your every wish is my command. Except perhaps when I judge that you are overexerting yourself. After all, your Highness's well-being is my foremost priority. I shall bear that in mind. Without further ado, then, my first wish is to instruct the festival staff in the Little Ladies' Dance, that we may share it with all who participate in the festivities. If that is your wish, then it is mine as well. On this day, all ladies are princesses, and everybody should by rights inherit the dance passed down in our family. I have a gift for you, adventurer, as a token of my gratitude. It isn't much, but please accept these instructions for the dance, along with a replica of my mother's fan. Now then, there's no time to waste. We must distribute these fans to as many people as possible, and share with them the history of the dance. This will be a little ladies' day to remember. Oh, yes, it will. Okay. Ah, they're doing a little dance. That's cute. And she has a little kitty on her head. Or a little creature on her head. Alright. And then we can see people performing the little lays dance here. I forgot to show that with tinybishie. Ooh, do you say something? Good day to you, adventurer. Have you any questions regarding the history of Little Lays Day? I'm at your service. What is Little Lays Day? Ooh, I didn't ask this with tinybishie either. Once a year, when the peach blossoms come to bloom, Eorzea celebrates all the lovely and spirited young maidens who bring such joy to our realm. The origins of the holiday can be traced back to events that happened some 3 centuries past, when the Thorn dynasty still reigned in Ul'dah. Look at this little creature just trying to get into my camera view. The plucky princess Edvaya, tired of being sequestered within palace walls by her overprotective father, the Sultan Baldric Thorn, exchanged garb with the miller girl and wandered off into town in search of adventure. Upon learning of his daughter's disappearance, the Sultan was stricken with panic. He summoned the palace guard down to the last man and ordered them to tear the city apart to see that no harm befell his precious princess. And tear the city apart they did. The poor miller, whose daughter assisted the princess in her escape, saw her home ripped nigh saw his house nigh ripped from the ground, while the family was threatened with imprisonment and worse. Oh, dude. Yikes. To the good fortune of all, Princess Edvaya was soon found just outside the palace walls. When she confessed the true reason that she had run away, her father was racked with guilt for his actions. He had the miller's house rebuilt by his most skilled craftsman and offered to personally serve as seneschal to the miller girl for a day to atone for his actions. The common folk were deeply moved by their sultan's newfound compassion. The sultan himself, vowing to never forget the lessons he had learned, declared that each year he would serve as seneschal for a young girl chosen from the townspeople by lot. The tradition continued long after Sultan Baldric's death, living on even as the Thorn dynasty gave way to the old. In time, it spread to other nations, where it took on new forms, eventually evolving into the Little Lays Day celebration we know and love today. Who was Princess Edvaya? Princess Edvaya was the one and only daughter of Sultan Baldric of House Thorn, the Hyuran noble house that ruled Olda some 300 years ago to this day. Her disappearance from the palace, the commotion that followed, and its eventual resolution, oft retold as the legend of the Lost Lady, are said to represent the origins of the celebration we now know as Low Lady's Day. It is said that before the events of that day, relations between the spirited princess and her stern, overly protective father were strained at best. Though the father claimed to love his daughter dearly, the form this love took was the stifling sort. The princess's disappearance and return changed everything. Sultan Baldric gained a newfound respect for his daughter's independent nature, while Princess Edvaya realized that her father's treatment of her was born of simple misunderstanding, not lack of love. The bonds between the two grew only stronger in the months and years to follow, and the two came to be celebrated as the most ideal embodiment of father and daughter that the realm had ever seen. Okay. And, I will get the orchestra roll. Yes. I'm not going to get the advertisement because I don't... It's a cute advertisement, but I don't see the need for it. And then I guess it's my first music roll, so that's cool. Then we can talk to them, which I didn't do with tinybishie, or with Izuna. Sorry about that. But I will have tinybishie's interaction clipped in with Izuna's, if you want to watch that whenever I get around to oh, sorry, Sakuro, who just walked by, is a member of my my main character that I play offline, Queena. I keep forgetting that I'm on the same server as them. I just was invited into Vibe before I asked for a guild invite for my couple of my other characters. And I don't want to be like, have all these alts, you know, all in one guild to make it seem like I'm greedy and just repeatedly being in there, you know. Enjoy the festivities, I hope? Should you have any questions concerning my family, it would be my pleasure to answer them. And I'm going to end this episode soon because my voice is starting to give out. Flower crowns. Following the events of the Legend of the Lost Lady, by which I mean after Sultan Baldric served as seneschal to a miller girl, he chose to do the same each year for other Olden ladies. It is said that this was his way of reminding himself and others that all girls should be treasured. Then one year, a girl had chosen to be princess for a day, presented him with a bouquet of daisies to thank him for his service. Knowing how hard the girl had worked to pick them, the Sultan gladly accepted the flowers and bade his attendants fashion them into circlets. Then, removing his own royal crown, he placed one on his head and another on hers. We're the same, you and I, he said, smiling. The Thorn family has considered daisies to be symbols of happiness ever since. Fortin Thorn. Fortin Thorn is my father and the head of House Thorn. It is his duty as representative of our family to sponsor Lil Lay's Day each year. Or so I once thought. I realize now that for him it is far more than duty which binds him to this celebration. Little Lay's Day is the very thing which brought him and Mother together. It is her memory and his love for her that drives him to ensure it continues. Much like how Princess Edvaya and her father, Sultan Baldric, were able to see each other in a new light after her disappearance, I feel as though my father and I have a better understanding of one another after all that's happened today. Claudia Thorne. Claudia Thorne, my mother and eldest daughter of House Thorne before her passing. I am told she left this world as soon as I was born into it. Her frequent bouts of illness prevented her from joining social functions held amongst the noble families of Olda, but by pure chance she was able to attend a Little Lays Day celebration long ago, where she met my father and performed the Little Lays dance for him. There is much I still have yet to learn about my mother, but from all I've been told, I cannot help but feel as though we have much in common. It makes me feel closer to her, as though some part of her is still alive in me. The Thorne Dynasty. Though Olda was founded by the House of Old, control of the throne was wrested from them after a period of instability, with the House of Thorne being appointed to rule as stewards some 350 summers ago. For more than a century, my forebears ruled, enacting countless reforms which would see their governance regarded favorably by the citizenry. At the end of those many long years, feeling that their sworn duty had at last been fulfilled, my ancestors returned rule to the old dynasty. To this day, we of House Thorne continue to do our part to see Olda flourish. The Little Ladies' Dance. In the years following the incident with the Miller girl, Princess Edvia grew to become a fine lady, attending the royal soirees and the like one on occasion, just as expected of her. In spite of this, she remained true to herself, forthright and bold as ever. On one faithful evening, she took her folding fan, an accessory noble women used in those days for the express purpose of covering their faces as a form of etiquette, and instead flourished it about her, using it to perform a dance she had improvised on the spot. While the Sultan and his retinue of seneschals were stunned by her impromptu performance, the nobles in attendance were instead captivated by its beauty and applauded her when she finished. In time, Princess Edvia's dance came to be known as the Little Ladies' Dance, and it, alongside the folding fan, have been passed down through the women of House Thorne ever since. Okay. I hoped you would stop by, so that I might thank you properly. Had you not aided my daughter, we may never have bonded as we have now. In truth, I did not realize how much joy it would bring me to see her take after her mother by inheriting our family's tradition. And yet I cannot help but worry that one day soon she may meet the love of her life, in much the same way I met her mother. I wish dearly for her to find such happiness, but nevertheless find myself conflicted about the prospect of seeing her go. Ah. The young mistress truly has a spring in her step during Little Ladies' Day celebrations. Why, I dare say one would scarce believe she suffers from a delicate constitution. Okay. So let's go over here where it's like, where you'll be able to see me better. I'll turn around. And let's see. Let's perform the Little Ladies Dance. And then it looks like I can do some things with the little parasol, which is cute. And then I'll end the episode and rest my voice. That's a cute little dance. And then with the parasol, it's checking to see if there's rain. I mean, there's flower petals. And then there's the umbrella dance. Isn't that cute? I love that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. I'm glad I got to do this event with Azuna and tinybishie, and Son of Ghost before I moved because I didn't want to miss it. I'm glad that I got a piece of music, and I also got a little emote. I mean, it's a real simple like little fan dance. Uh, like I was saying on stream, I don't know why it would be so um, taxing on one's health, but oh well. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and then end this episode here. So that's gonna be all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe, stay happy, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. I'm tired.